angels willing to hold us in their arms. When our worth was stone, our ashes, and we both passed on. Let forever mean forever and carry on.
Okay, without further ado, here we go with a Gangsta Giggles rant.
Hi guys, it's been a little while and I know you guys are always hoping that I do one, but I get something in my head and then, I don't know, it's hard for me to put myself out there like that. So, my thoughts anymore, society is crazy. It seems like everybody wants to be a victim. Everybody wants to blame it on somebody else instead of looking in the damn mirror. And it just freaking drives me insane. And yeah, okay, I have cerebral palsy, okay? I don't want that to be the thing that defines me. I don't want to be a victim of that. I've used it to, because everybody's always said you're not going to do this or that or the other thing. So I'm like, fuck you. I'll show you. I wasn't supposed to walk or talk or anything. And now I walk and talk and fuck you. But I see so many people who aren't disabled. They want to blame whatever on the world. Okay? And I understand there are things in this world that you can't control, okay? I get it. But there's so many things that you can. You can change how you do stuff so that you can get somewhere. It might take a little bit longer, but you'll get there. But I've seen so many people lately, they just lay down and they just want to be a victim. Like, really? Why don't you can't complain about it unless you're trying to actually fucking do something about it. I just don't get it. And most of these people I see, they're perfectly able-bodied. There's nothing wrong with them. And most of the time, they're in that situation because they made bad choices. Okay, you make a bad choice, so what are you going to do to fix it? But they just don't try to fix it. I'm like, seriously? Then you don't have a right to complain about it then, if you're not going to take the steps to try to fix it. Okay, you're a dumbass. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm just going to cry. Really? A few months ago, I was in the store picking up a few things. And if I have somebody that's behind me, I ask them all the time, I'm like, do you want to go ahead of me because I'm a little bit slower? And this lady goes, she tried to make it seem like she was being nice about it, but she was being a bitch. She's like, oh, I just have a Jeep full of stuff, and the longer I wait, whatever. That bitch is so lucky. I wanted to go off. I mean, what has she never... I don't get people that just have that. I guess they've never been around somebody that's been disabled. It's like, what has happened to having common decency and just being kind? And she's lucky I didn't say something because I really wanted to go off on her. But I didn't want to end up in jail. Because, anybody that has known me for any amount of time knows that I don't like asking for help. I don't. Because immediately, most people just see me as, oh, that poor girl with CP, she's just useless. I have a purpose here too, motherfucker. I might not see it, but I know I have some purpose. And as I get older, the less fucks I give about how everybody else sees me. As long as me and God are okay, fuck the rest. That just pisses me off. I go out of my way to try to not ask anybody for help. There was one time I was at the store. I was doing a big shopping trip for the month or whatever. First thing I do when I get in there, when I see a girl that looks perfectly fine in a scooter. Maybe she had something wrong with her. But most of the time, if I'm with somebody, I don't get in a scooter. I try to walk around. And there's so many times when I've seen people using scooters where if they were fucking up walking, maybe they wouldn't need a fucking scooter. That just freaking... Really? Okay, I've been bigger. I was 205 pounds at my biggest. But you know what? I always told myself if I ever hit anything, that was it. I lost 70 pounds in 6 months. That's my own fault. That was my fault. And I fucking walked it off. I get shit happens to people, okay? But it's become let's blame everybody else instead of looking in the fucking mirror and trying to fix your shit. And I get that shit happens that you really don't have any control over. But what are you gonna do to try to get the fuck back up? It's like when I lost my last job. From that point on, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go a different way because obviously this is not working. Okay? I was really bummed out about it. I love that job. I love the people and everything. But after that, I was like, fuck it. I gotta find a different path. I gotta go a different way. Okay? So, yeah, I went through a period where I was bummed, but I'm just not gonna lay down and die. It just friggin'... that whole mentality of people, if you've never been around somebody with a disability or dealt with it or whatever, come on. We're human beings too. We bleed. We have a purpose. And honestly, like we've told you before, and I think about it all the time. Yeah, it'd sure be nice not to have a body that's all fucked up and can't move, and yeah, that'd be great. But honestly, if that's how I would have been, I'd rather be disabled. Because I know that sounds strange, but it's really made me reach deep down inside and find that fight. And it's like I see people nowadays, it's like my brain is halfway fucking dead and I still have more common sense than some of these motherfuckers. Could have been a lot worse. But just what happened, and I try I try to help people if I can too. You know, for all the people that helped me, you know, when I was going to college and, you know, different times throughout my life. I always try to remember that, and I try to help people too. And, you know, I try to give back. I try to help people. I don't forget that shit. It's what happened to that. Just what happened to that time when people just kind of helped each other out, and it didn't come back to haunt you. And, you know, I'm not going to do that to somebody. I know what that's like. And it must be that these people have never dealt with a disability or been at rock bottom, because they just act like they're so much better than everybody. If that's what having a body that works right and having all the money in the world does to you, I don't want it. I don't want it. Because, you know, when I was younger, I used to hate it so much that's all people ever saw of me first is back then I had a walker. You know, and that's the first thing that people see, you know. And it's like that's not the majority of who I am, but that's the first thing that people see. And it's like now I don't give as much a fuck. The older I get, the less I give a shit. And this, you know, these setbacks have all taught me, you know, keep getting up, keep getting up, keep getting up. You know? And and there's people that have shit happen to them and they just fucking give up. I'm not giving up. I will fight until my dying breath. But shit happens. It's all gonna happen, but how are you gonna deal with it? Are you gonna lay down and just give up, or are you gonna fucking get up and fight back? Freaking drives me up a wall the way people are anymore. It's like if you don't think the way that they think, if you don't fit into their box, you're the devil. I don't care. If you're not hurting anybody, I don't care. Just too many people with their labels and their boxes, and it's just crazy. Just leave people be. If they're not hurting anybody, leave them be. It drives me up a wall. But I'm the stupid ass. Okay. Yeah. I'm the disabled one. Okay, yeah. You better think twice about that next time you see a disabled person somewhere. Because they gotta think of different ways to get around shit. Because their whole lives they've been told they can't do this, that, or the other thing. So that puts a seed in our head that we're gonna show them. I mean, my brother and sister one time, I think I was like 18 or 19 at the time, and they thought they'd be funny and take my crutches away. They thought they'd be safe that way. So they're like, I can't even remember what they said, but whatever it was, it pissed me off, and I was on the floor and I crawled like a motherfucker, and I was like Speedy Gonzales. They knew from that point on, just because they take my crutches away don't mean I won't fucking get them. So don't think because you take my crutches away that you're safe, because I will fucking crawl like a maniac. Don't underestimate somebody just because they have a disability. Because we find ways. So I don't know what it is. I guess these people weren't raised to appreciate bodies that work right. Because most of the time people have stuff happen to them and they're like, they just give up. And thank God that I was born with cerebral palsy, really. Because it's really taught me a lot. I don't get that. It just drives me insane. I just wish that people understood what they had when their bodies work right. That's why I tell people, don't feel bad for me. I was born this way, you know. Don't feel bad for me. I was born this way, you know. I feel worse for a person that had a perfectly working body and something happened and now they got chronic pain or whatever the case may be. I came out like this. So, you know, I know everybody wants, oh yeah, so sorry. No. It's taught me a lot. While I'm thinking about it, there's which I've talked about him before here, but his name is Zach Honor, and he's a comedian, and he's got a worse form of cerebral palsy than I do. He's in a wheelchair, and he wrote a book about his experiences and stuff, but he's got videos on YouTube and stuff, and he does workout videos and different stuff, and it's like he just cracks me up, and he gets it, you know. Like we all have a purpose here. I just wish people would realize and see the disabled community just as worthy as anybody else on the planet. You know, we got to go about it different ways, but most of us want to have a dream come true. You know, we have dreams, we have ambitions, and we want to have a piece of the American dream too. Because we don't want to be just known for the girl with the crutches. That's why I haven't ended up in jail, because I'd get picked up like 5 seconds after, because they'd say the girl with the crutches, and fuck, it'd be over. And that's what I try to get people to understand too. You know, I make fun of myself before. I mean, people might think it in their heads, but they won't say it out loud. And I'm like, I have fun. Let's have fun with it, you know. But for fuck's sake, just because I walk slow doesn't mean I talk slow. It's been many years since somebody actually talked slow to me, but I just, especially recently, if somebody ever did that to me, I think I'd probably fuck with them a lot, because I'd start talking slow and then be like, bitch, just because I walk slow, I mean, I just don't get that. Well, did I ever, Tommy saying love the giggles. One of the people that used to come into the chat, Tommy, she actually came up with the Gangsta Giggles name, and I'm like, that really fits, and just So she's the one that came up with it, and so it's very fitting. I just freaking drives me. It just freaking drives me. But oh, so I don't know. Did you guys maybe have some? Well, I'm glad you think that, Tommy, because I hate being on air. I hate being the center of attention. I always have. I hate, and people are always like, "We want you to get on and talk," and it's just really hard for me to be the center of attention. Do you still hear me? Oh, I guess it must be me. I guess it must be me not putting it close to my face, close to the mic. Oh, is it? I don't know. But I don't know, did you guys have something you wanted to know or anything like that? Or I just have, everybody's always saying they want to hear from me, but I don't really put myself out there that much. Kind of hard for me to, I've never liked, like there's been a couple times in speech when I've had to, get up. I already stick out like a sore thumb. But how's Mike's foot? I didn't do anything. Oh yeah, Wolf. I don't know what was going on, but I think there was some kind of accident or something. He said he heard the sirens. I guess. Oh yeah, that would work too. I call penguins pangs. I'm trying to think. It's just freaking gets to me how a lot of people are anymore. It's like, I understand if you're going through something, it's hard to kind of push yourself through it. But everybody has a purpose here. You might not see it, but don't let that, you gotta mourn for a little bit, and then you gotta get the fuck back up. Might not see it at the time, but there is a reason. There is a reason. It had nothing to do with Oreos, although now I'm just probably going to totally break down and get some when I go to the store next. I kind of figured that, Tommy. That's why I said what I said. That's why I tell people over and over, even though you might not see it, you have a reason here. And everything's here to teach us, even though we might not see it at the time. It's for a reason. I'm trying to think of anything else. It just aggravates the shit out of me the way that people are anymore. I don't want to be a victim. I just want to live my American dream. And there's people, I guess, people that ain't never struggled for shit. I don't really care to know what they think, 'cause they ain't never been nowhere. They ain't never struggled for shit. But don't be a victim if you're not gonna try to fix your shit. Just gonna dig a hole and try to be a victim. Lay down and die, or get up and start fighting. What are you gonna do? So many people anymore, something happens to them and they just give up. And then they want to cry. Yeah, I understand it. But you can't keep playing victim if you're not going to try to fix your shit. What helps me feel better when I get discouraged? Besides Mike and Blue. A lot of times it's writing, which I'm going through another phase where I haven't really written much. Or sometimes I turn on some music. Well, of course, you guys know, we love Blue October, and that's really a big one that I like to listen to a lot, and that's what always gets me, Tony, like people who just never know me, and they and I'm like, really, my brain's half dead and I still act smarter than you are. Oh, what I was talking about Blue October, and we've actually seen him 2 times, and both times I met the lead singer and one of the, well, he's not a guitarist anymore, but he was. And the second time, they were fighting over whose girlfriend I was. But they're an awesome group. I just love them. And the first time that I met him, the lead singer, he's like, "Did I sound okay?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? You sounded awesome." They're an awesome group, and hopefully we'll get to meet him again sometime, and I'll have to show him a picture of our Blue, because he has a daughter named Blue. I'll have to show him the picture of Blue, which Blue's birthday is tomorrow. She'll be 2. I don't know, did you guys have some other questions or something? Anymore, I don't give a fuck if I piss people off, really. I just don't give fucks as much anymore as it used to be. It used to be I never said anything to people. I didn't say anything. I just took it and just smiled, and now I kind of come up my face a little more. So it's actually, I think it got up to like 70 today, but there was kind of a wind, so it felt chillier. Kind of nippy. Is he really? Is he really, Smitty? Not you. I just don't see how you could piss people off, Evil. You ain't never pissed us off. Or maybe is it because you were telling them the truth that pissed them off? Oh my gosh. They're like, yay, she gave the weather. Bacon cheeseburger, Leo. Now I just want Oreos, but I always want Oreos. No, Tony, it's fine. I turned 41 this year. And I wasn't supposed to live past birth, so there's another fuck you. I lived 41 years longer than they thought. Okay, so, well, which that kind of leads me to something else, which most of you probably know, I don't know, but I'll share it anyway. I was born 6 weeks premature, and they were saying that I wasn't going to live, and, I think, if I remember right, about my age?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh.
I answered.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Mike thought I didn't answer your question, Tony, about my age. I'll answer about Blue here in a minute. So I was born 6 weeks premature, and if I remember right, I was not diagnosed until I was 3. And And then I had 4 surgeries before the age of 10. And that was it. Hopefully I won't ever have to have another one. Up to that point, before they did the hamstring surgery, which was the last one, I was in a wheelchair, and I also used a walker too. So, but after that last one, that really got me up and walking. I was on wooden crutches at first, and then they switched me to aluminum crutches with forearm crutches is what they were, both the wooden ones and the ones I have now. And I walk as much as I can. And I try to keep walking because if I don't, it will get worse. Like, my movement will get worse. So I try to keep moving as much as I can because I do not want to end up back in a wheelchair, because that just gives me another weapon. I would literally be running people over. Blue was 6 weeks when we got her. Eight weeks? Oh, she was 8 weeks old when we got her. We just saw an ad on Facebook for one of the local sites that somebody was giving away puppies, and when we moved in here, we made sure the landlord would be okay with us having a puppy, you know. So, and he only charges $20 extra. So then we saw an ad for her, and somebody was giving them away. So I went and picked her up, and at first I contemplated getting a little boy, and I just grabbed me a girl, and she sat on my chest the whole time and was shaking, but she's a trip. She's something else. I'll have to make a video one day of how she takes her treat and pushes it towards her mouth with my hand. And now she even, which we didn't catch it on video, I wish we would have, she even, like, imitated, like, a couple of weeks after we got her, how I walk with my crutches with her front legs. So, she's something else, but if she hears my crutches fall, she runs out of the room. She hates that. Which one are you talking about, Smitty? I still have them. I think the ones you're talking about. I have 4 arms. Yes, I do. Or 4 legs, rather. Oh my gosh, you'd crack up laughing, Tony. She's a trip. She cracks me. She's funny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. I didn't know which one you were talking about, Smitty. Yeah, I do. I'm trying to think, is there anything else you guys want to know, or anyway, that just aggravates me that people don't realize what they have when their bodies work right. You know what I mean? It just drives me nuts. And I did have, a couple years before I was born, I had a brother. He passed away days after he was born. They were thinking that he was going to be in a wheelchair. So they're saying that he would have had it worse for him than even I do. And mine's kind of in the middle as far as severity. So, and a lot of why I am the way I am is because I think about, well, he didn't get a chance to live, so I got to try to do the best I can. You know, I got to try to do the best I can. And I don't want to be my cerebral palsy. I don't. But a lot of the reason why I am the way I am is because of my cerebral palsy. And would I change it? No, I wouldn't. A lot of people probably think I'm nuts, but no, I wouldn't. 4 legs and 2 middle fingers, that's for sure, fire. That's for sure. Blue's trying to get, oh, she just came in and she wants her treat. I would rather hang out with you guys than most folks. And I have friends that I don't know how I've had my oldest friend I've known since 4th grade, and then I have one from 6th grade and 9th grade. And I still talk to them and stuff, and I'm just like, how do you guys tolerate me? And they're like, are you serious? I'm sure they noticed I had crutches. So did you guys have any other questions or thoughts or? I just don't get people that want to get stuck in their victimhood. I don't want to. You know, everything I've been through has taught me something. But I don't get how people don't sit there and think, well, maybe this is for a reason. Maybe I need to do this or that or the other thing. But I'm the stupid dumbass. Okay. Yeah. I should start a comedy series and call it, But I'm the Disabled One. Okay. Yeah, I don't really like being on camera that much. But there might be some times when we get on here. A while. Sorry, Tony, he's been using it for doing reviews and stuff, though. Still got some more that he's gonna do. No, well, no, but you've been using it for. Oh, okay. He was saying he used the other camera. Okay, I was thinking he was using the one that we got.
No, I just
okay.
Figured that out.
Yeah. What brought this on? Just a lot of scrolling through Facebook and just experiences I've had over the last few months with people being out in public and stuff. And just the general overall attitude of people anymore, you know, it just drives me crazy. I don't get how people, I guess people just want to be victim and just say, woe is me, and I don't want to do that. I don't get that, okay? We all go through shit, okay? But most of the time, if you actually talk to the person, half the time, they are the reason why they're in that situation, and they don't want to take responsibility. And you want me to feel sorry for you? Okay. Not gonna happen, okay? Anymore, I don't. It's just what Fire was saying. Society is toxic. It's like that's, you know, and I'm not perfect in the least, okay? And that's another thing that brought this up. It's like people will tell you how you're failing, but they won't look in the fucking mirror and fix their shit. Like, really? You'll tell me how I'm an asshole, but you won't look in the mirror and see why you can't fix your shit. and it's poor choices or whatever. Okay, we all do it. Well, what are you going to do to fix it? Sorry, I was trying to... I don't know, hopefully soon. Evil. I get it, Tommy. I that's why I tell people, don't feel that sorry for me. I've been dealing with that kind of pain my whole life. And that's why this is why I tell people don't feel sorry for me, but don't just brush me aside just because you see me as useless. Roll the ATV. I'm not gonna roll nothing. I hope not. Although, remember that time a couple years ago when I fell off the bike? That kind of... I wasn't going that fast, thank God. It just seems like years ago people used to help each other out. It didn't used to be a thing. Now it seems like it's an inconvenience. But here, since I've lived in Highland, though, I'm really shocked about how people are here for the most part, because, I don't like asking for help. I don't, but people will usually jump right in and don't make me feel like a piece of shit, or whatever, and it's like, I'm not used to that. Most of the time, people acting like it was such a big chore. Oh yeah, because these people had jammy pants on. Okay. But I'm the disabled one. Okay. But thank God I don't see jammy pants much here. It's like, just look, I just do not like when people act like they're better than everybody else. Just because they never struggled for nothing or whatever. Don't act like you're better than everybody else. Heard a noise and it was blue on the futon. Shoot. Y'all are talking about wheels again. I'm bad enough on 2 feet. Oh, that's another thing that'll crack you guys up. So everybody always gets freaked out when it gets to be winter time. They worry about me slipping on ice or whatever if the winter's bad. And I'm usually fine when I go out. But the minute the snow melts, I end up slipping down. There was one time, I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and that happened to me. I slipped on some water. I was volunteering at the hospital. It's been more than 5 years now, but I slipped on some water, and I was already laughing before I hit the floor. But the reason why I was laughing is because this couple saw me falling down, and they just went, and it just cracked me up. That's another thing, I usually have falling down to a science. I don't usually hurt myself when I fall down, and it's more funny to me than not. You have to have a sense of humor. I don't know why people don't understand that about me. Yeah, that's exactly it, and if I can help neighbors or whatever, we do. That's what we do. But most of the time anymore, it's like people want you to help them, but they don't want to help you. And it's like, I've had people, I went back to college when I was almost 30. I was almost 32, or yeah, 30. Or no. I was 29 when I went back, and I was like, how the hell am I going to do this? And I met now we're friends. I met a lady that we had classes together, and she's like, I'll drive you. And I found different people throughout the 3 years it took me to finish. But I remembered that, they helped me get through college. That was one of my things I wanted to check off my list, and I did it. And I did it with honors. I graduated college, but, and I remember all the people that helped me now and then, and I always try to help people. But anymore, unless somebody needs it, they don't give a shit. They just want what they want. People need to remember what the Constitution is about and what this country was founded on. It's not money and physical objects, and it's about being a decent human being and helping people towards their dreams. Don't step on people on the way to your dreams, because one of these days your ass is going to fall down, and who's going to be there to pick you up? I don't ever try to step on people, but I've had people step on me. Just wait. Just wait. I just don't get it. Sorry, I was trying to see if that. Yeah, karma is a bitch. I don't know, did you guys want to know something else or have a question, or did I answer everything? I think I got everybody. Yeah, right, evil? The government has the nose up everybody's ass. Yeah. That's fun. It's like, do people not remember why the Constitution was put into place and why this, like, do people not remember? These motherfuckers need to quit wiping their asses with the Constitution. Like, they don't want to be told what to do, but they... When did I discover I was addicted to Oreos? Oh, well, let me finish my thought. They don't want to be told, the people in power don't want to be told what to do, but they want to lord over us. Okay, yeah, that's... When did I discover I was addicted to Oreos? Well, I think I was like, I don't know, I was like 4 or 5. And honestly, I really didn't eat them a ton throughout my life. And then just like in the last 5 years, I eat them way more because I have a supplier named Evil. I don't really remember. I think I was like 4 or 5. I don't really remember when I ate my first Oreo, but I didn't used to eat them, and I didn't really eat them a ton, really, until Evil came along. Oh, that first, oh, geez, I had like 10 packs of, 12 packs of Oreos. It lasted me like 2.5 weeks. I don't know how I'm not bigger again. That's what people kind of tell me, Tommy, but it's really hard for me to... No, I'm just messing Evil. Nobody can make me do anything. It's just hard. They're like, Oreos are my crack. And Tommy, people tell me that I am good at talking and stuff. I just don't like being the center of attention. And when I used to have to do speech classes in high school and stuff, people, but I just hate, and then, Usually I try to write stuff out before I'm going to talk, but I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do off the cuff, you know. I'd usually like to write stuff out and be a little bit more smooth, but fuck it. Wait. What are you talking about? The first hit's always free? What? Y'all crack me up. Trying to think of anything else that I can add, but I don't really have anything else to add. Run with it. I don't run, I shuffle. Shuffle. Gimpy shuffle. Okay, do you guys have any other questions, or I'm probably going to wrap it up here. The GG shuffle. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Oh, great. Oreo dealers, just what I need. No, he's not in the kitchen. He's sitting right next to me looking at a book, looks like. Oh, yeah. I'm the reason why he likes to read now. It's all my fault. Nope, he's not in the kitchen this time. But we know where he'd be if Leo was here. I guess I'll wrap it up, guys, and hopefully I didn't sound like too much like a dumbass. I just felt like I had to get that out. And I'd rather do it here than end up in jail. You guys crack me up. Yep.
Alrighty. Let's see here. That's why I love that woman so much. All 2 foot and 4 letter words of her.